lady, I slipping in the draft, blah, 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 blah.
They just hate it. They just like Coach Prime and what he has done for Colorado. So, and they try to take shots at us. We played underneath them. But that's just all it is. They just hating on us, trying to take shots at us. So, we just did and just ignore it. We don't care about it. I just talked to them like 2 days ago about it. We don't care. It's just them trying to get us to be a different person than who we are.
All right, you good. My bad. I was hoping that was Shedeur.
I was hoping that, on what ought to have been the most memorable night of his life, Travis Hunter would be selected second overall in the NFL draft. His voice, not just his skill, made headlines. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoy stories that the NFL would prefer you not to hear. You won't want to miss the following. Hunter took the podium and changed the course of events intended to celebrate his accomplishment by criticizing the NFL in one of the most audacious rookie remarks in league history. As the journalists leaned in, he muttered, "This moment isn't even about me. This moment was supposed to be about my brother." That brother was Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback who was the movement's soul as well as the beating heart of Colorado football. A quarterback who made the Buffaloes a national sensation after turning them from the worst college football team. A leader who, in a season when he was sacked more than any other player in Division I, threw for over 3,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, and just 3 interceptions. However, Shedeur's name had not yet been called. Travis Hunter then made the decision to speak. Not only as a teammate or friend, but also as someone fully aware of what was happening. He said, "They're hating on us. Coach Prime is being hated by them. This is no longer about football." Travis said in one sentence that the NFL was punishing Deion Sanders for bringing too much attention, too much culture, and too much truth to a sport that is based on control, tradition, and silence by purposefully ignoring Shedeur. Since it didn't sound like frustration, the room became quiet. It had the sound of a warning. The press room was not the only place where Travis Hunter's remarks reverberated. They rocked the NFL draft's foundation. Everyone in the room was aware of Shedeur Sanders' actions, the movie, and the numbers. 3 picks, 27 touchdowns, and a top 5 QBR. He broke records while carrying Colorado on his back behind college football's worst offensive line. Until it came time to write a name on the board, scouts couldn't stop talking about his poise, grit, and football IQ. Then, all of a sudden, cricket. There was only silence, no first-round hype, no mock drafts, and no invitations to the green room. And if you paid careful attention, you could discern the true meaning of that silence. A declaration. The league, officials, and insiders weren't merely snooping on Shedeur. He was being frozen out by them. Why? Since Shedeur failed to participate in their game. His transfer was not silent. His head was not bowed. He didn't stay out of the limelight. He voiced his mind, invited the cameras along, and reaffirmed his devotion to his father, Coach Prime, the most talked about person in college football. And the old guard was offended by it. They saw more than simply a gifted quarterback. They noticed an issue. A quarterback who was already well-known, well-off, and in charge of his destiny. The system does not operate that way. Travis Hunter was also aware of it. This was not an emotional outburst during his press conference. It was a well-thought-out position. You see what they're doing, don't you? They are afraid of us, he continued. They are afraid of what we stand for. Although the NFL takes pride in its fraternity, there are both explicit and implicit regulations that go along with it. Furthermore, Shedeur shattered all of them simply by being himself. The fact that Shedeur Sanders was overlooked wasn't the only thing that made the tale so combustible. That was the reason. Because a quarterback wasn't the only factor in this. Deion Sanders was the subject, the NFL Hall of Famer who was not only a football coach. It was interrupted by him. Deion gave a program that everyone else had given up on: cameras, culture, belief, and purpose. He established a brand based on truth, passion, and honesty, which unnerved people. Deion was not a politician. His goal was to win. And the NFL retreated when they saw that his son was going in the same direction. The signs were all over the place, but the league was unable to publicly state it. What prevented Shedeur from participating in important draft discussions? Why, after lauding his toughness and decision-making skills months before, were commentators now criticizing his methods and demeanor? Why did they transform his swagger into immaturity and his confidence into arrogance? Shedeur didn't fit the mold for that reason. He didn't engage in public relations. GMs weren't impressed by him. He didn't pretend to be humble during interviews. He stood next to a father who consistently spoke exactly how he felt, wore diamond watches, and spoke about family prosperity. And that wasn't leadership in the eyes of the NFL. There was danger there. Because the story would be broken if Shedeur were successful. It would demonstrate that beating the game didn't need playing it. Travis Hunter fought for that very thing that evening. Not only Shedeur's future, but also the opportunity to be authentic in a league that only honors those who follow the rules. Now that their shoes are tight and their drive is stronger than ever, Travis and Shedeur are more than simply two young players joining the league. They are calm on the outside, but with a power that has the potential to change the NFL's basic structure. Travis Hunter has evolved from a name on a draft board to a loud, passionate, and uncompromising voice. He didn't say anything spontaneous or off-script during that press conference. His pause, choked up, and statement, "I was hoping that was Shedeur," were a measured moment of candor that reverberated well beyond that room. The ensuing quiet wasn't unsettling. Everyone in the room sensed it, so it was electric. More impact was contained in that moment than in any stat line or highlight reel. It was the roar of heartache and the beginning of defiance. For those who followed this voyage, it may have appeared to be a brother standing up for another, but to the outside world, they knew otherwise. This was more profound. By putting a line in the sand and challenging the NFL to disregard the consequences of Coach Prime's initiative, Travis was holding them accountable. It served as a warning that their quiet would not be tolerated. Shedeur also didn't have to say anything. His message was conveyed by his silence. No emotional outbursts or hostile tweets. He carried out his usual actions. Worked, developed, led, and is currently the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback. Not by chance, not by politics, but by consistently demonstrating his belonging. And he's already gaining the respect of the veterans in the room. It's because of his grind, not his last name. Don't assume, however, that Travis has moved on. No, the fire is still going strong, and he is more concentrated than ever. It was more than simply a squandered chance that evening. Justice was at issue. It was about criticizing a system that attempted to convey a message by ignoring a generational talent. However, they overlooked something crucial. Shedeur and Travis are more than simply athletes. They are in charge. Shifters in culture. Emblems of a new age that defies confinement by antiquated norms and unwritten laws. Together, they made Colorado a household name. Since they didn't come to fit in, they will work together to do the same in the NFL. They arrived to cause a stir. And the league's retaliation if draft night was a jab. Every score, every yard, and every headline earned. It's a purposeful reaction rather than one of rage. Additionally, they are bringing a new type of fan with them as they ascend. Supporters who seek athletes who represent more than simply victories and defeats, sincerity, and passion. Supporters who are eager for change and fed up with politics. Without a doubt, the NFL is keeping an eye on things since they are aware that everyone is watching when Travis and Shedeur move. This is only the beginning of the story, so fasten your seatbelt. Click the subscribe button right away if you think that truth is more important than politics, that underdogs may triumph, and that the rules should be changed. Remain locked in. You don't want to overlook the events